What's going on? Your boy needs a good thumbnail, not just a blur. So when you read what's the problem with college football, or the problem with college football, or whatever the title is going to be of this video, then you'll see a college football and gloves and be like, man, those are nice. Where did you get the team stuff from? And I'll tell you right in the beginning, but you gotta click through and watch the whole thing. Because this is not the beginning yet. Let's get to the beginning. Here we go. The problem. Maybe I'll even put it in text, just in case you can see it, like something right here. With college football. In fact, any text that I put up, maybe I'll just put up right here, because I'm actually might put some serious effort in this video. Like some videos have less effort, some videos have more. In fact, I'm even going to tell people from my TikTok, maybe come watch it. If you're interested in college football at all. That being said, the problem with college football, fixing college football's problems. Hey, you listening, ESPN? You listening? Whoever's in charge down there, I have an idea, okay, and patent pending. We don't need expansion in the playoff. Let's just start off by saying that. We don't need expansion in the playoff. Because expansion in the playoff would probably take too long. And maybe it wouldn't be as competitive, right, until the end. So it'd kind of almost be pointless. And, like, it would be really awkward numbers. Like, really, okay. So, like, do we want to do 8? Like, what would we expand? Like, at first I thought, okay, maybe we do 6, have wild card teams, have the 2, like, 1 and 2 team, like, be locked in to play the 3 and 4. But the 3 and 4 have to play an extra game against the 5 and the 6. But what if, like, the 6 is, like, you know? What if there's, like, 4 really solid teams and the 5 and the 6 are, like, You know what I'm saying? This year, you can make an argument the 5 and the 6 are solid. Baylor at 5, Notre Dame at 6, and they would have to play Cincinnati. Notre Dame would have the rematch against Cincinnati. And then Baylor would play, like... No, Baylor would play Cincinnati, and Notre Dame would play, like, Georgia or something, right? And a year like this, Georgia would get in or out. Georgia would be in, right? But, like, we could see how good they are actually, or if that loss at the end of the season was, like, actually, like, a big deal. What I mean by that is, like, this loss, like, to Alabama, Georgia looked bad, right? And certainly, I think, you know, it's possible that in this wild card scenario, that Notre Dame could beat them, and they'd be like, and everyone would be like, wow, I wonder how many other of these top 10 teams Georgia can play and still look this bad, especially offensively. I mean, I think offensively compared to some of the other top 10 teams, Georgia may not have what it takes at all to stack up. At all. But then again, we're going to see. They're going to play, what? They're going to play Michigan? We're going to see. We're going to see. If Georgia stacks up offensively against Michigan, they'll win, right? Right. Go blue. Non-biased. Go blue. But if they don't stack up, the problem with the wild card, though, all right, I'll put the wild card in my kind of general idea with, like, the wild card over here. The problem with that is that it almost would be like an every year type of thing to have a wild card. Sometime, I think that's the thing. If there is an argument that there is 6 legitimate playoff teams with the wild card, you would have the top 6 and those other ones would be fighting for a spot. If those 4 through 6 are so close together that you could have a wild card, then I think there should be a wild card. But that is every year. That's like there. Here's the thing though. There is 6 New Year's. There's 6 New Year's 6 bowls, right? There's the New Year's 6 bowls. So those other 2 championship teams or championship contending teams, and like the Rose Bowl, like Utah, we'll get to that later. But like the Rose Bowl or there's always a bowl that's left out. There's always a bowl that's left out, which is sad because, like, so that's why there should be a wild card. However, at the same time, like it's only once every few years where a wild card, all right, could be argued, be like UCF or I don't know, like a Big 12 champion or something, right? Wild card. All right, it's the Power 5, and I know there's always more than 5 great teams. Maybe not playoff teams, but always more than 4. But 5, you can't have 5. Wild card. But it's not consistent enough, though. Not consistent enough. Alright? 8 games is too many. 8 teams is too many teams. 8 teams. There's also a wild card there, probably. But it's not. It's just too slow. It's too slow, right? Unless you get rid of a game. You don't want to get rid of a game. It's too slow. The suggestion would be, this is the way to fix the problem. The way to expand without expanding the playoff, which should not be expanded, because the way to really expand would be to expand the season with the bowl games. The rankings should count after all of the bowl games are over. The bowl games should be regular season and the playoff should be something separate. Patent pending. I'm going to have another intro to say skip the 7 minutes if you really want to. Patent pending. Has anyone come up with this idea yet? Expand the regular season to add the bowl games into the regular season. There's so many bowl games. And it's such a good... Look, I like the bowl. A lot of people don't like all the bowl games. But then it would give a reason to have all the bowl games. Okay? Alright? And it's like, well, but only 6-0 or whatever team, like only like 6-6 or higher, like better team, right? Sometimes 5, but like only like certain eligibility. Yes, you keep the same eligibility. You still have to have a winning record to go to a bowl game, or at least a 500 record to go to a bowl game. But let make the bowl games still matter for 2 lost teams or 1 lost teams or something, right? Or the New Year's 6 games, for that matter. This still actually matter. And this is where we get to Utah. Poor Utah. Rip Utah. Poor Utah. Alright, they're a championship team. They're a legit playoff contender. How much do you want to bet? Right now, you and me, look at me. How much do you want to bet? Right now, what time is it? 4:53 p.m. on a Wednesday in December. They're going to play Ohio State. You know who Ohio State lost to? Oregon. I know Oregon was a lot better when they played them in. But, like, come on. You don't think Utah can put a fat like I am a Pac-12 biased person, but realistically, have you seen Utah? If you have not seen Utah play football, which is not a lot of footage available if you haven't actually watched the game, so that is fair. But if you have not seen the score, like, just look at the score lines. They played Oregon twice in a row. Look at the score lines. And don't tell me that Ohio State is going to, like, whoop them or anything. Like, no. Ohio State, all right, like, they're down right now. They're probably down pretty bad after losing to Michigan. Let's be honest. But, like, I think Utah can take on Michigan is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to say that I'd rather have Utah, Michigan in the playoff than Georgia, Michigan, and have no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Utah, because it's about what team is playing the best right now, and in an expanded season where the Rose Bowl counts in the regular season, Utah would surely, after a big Rose Bowl victory, their first in I don't know how long, probably ever. Okay. Listen to me. Would surely be a playoff team. Surely. Okay. I know the bowl games are sancted or whatever. I know the bowl games are special. I know that time is special and it can still be special. And they still get trophies and hardware and all those rewards and all that fun stuff. But give a brethren a chance after the bowl games are over. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Are you kidding me? My mom's here. Why do I have all my best ideas when my mom gets here? Whatever. That's all I'm saying. So, to conclude, okay, make everything clear. Like I said, I know bowl games are bowl games, and I know some people are upset there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of tradition in them. Ends the season, and yada yada. It's a new era, it's a new time. Okay? And if you expand the regular season and make the playoffs separate after the bowl games are over, and you do one final ranking after the bowl games are over, after presumably 2 teams played from out of conference, and it's a tough opponent, right? Never know what can happen, and that should expand the playoffs enough. In theory, it should be enough expansion, have that extra, because some teams don't have that strength of schedule until that bowl game, and then whoop-de-doo, who cares, right? But if they have that bowl game and that crunch, I'm talking for more like group of 5 or whatever, like Cincinnati, talking for like another case like Cincinnati or anything else like that, any other team like that. They should be allowed in, even if their strength of schedule wasn't high enough. They should have a chance to get in, I think, right? Like undefeated teams. We're talking undefeated teams here. Undefeated group of 5 teams should have a chance to get in and play like a top 10 team in a bowl game and get a chance to get in. They're undefeated after playing a top 10 team in a bowl game and then have a strength schedule, and all of a sudden they're undefeated still, right? after playing a really good team, then like why shouldn't it not be in? Right? Right. I mean, just common sense, really, right? I think. It's just I'm tired of undefeated teams not getting in, and expansion does fix that, but it's inconsistent. But expanding the season and also like expanding the season, not only expanding the season, but giving the reward for undefeated team a good bowl game against a good, highly ranked team. Okay? Please. Okay? Thank you. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I want. Alright? Because, like, if they don't, like, what's, like, you could talk strength of schedule all you want, but it's not, like, scheduling's not the undefeated team's fault. They did what they could to get undefeated. Alright, they took care of business week in, week out. And here's undefeated team from Pac-12, ACC, Group of 5, whatever weaker conference you want to say it is, whatever weaker schedule they say they have, right? And they can't get in, and unless there's Cincinnati's case where they beat a team who's now number 6, right? And they're undefeated still. And they get a little lucky too. Like, there shouldn't be all that other stuff. If you're undefeated and you're the only undefeated team remaining, there shouldn't be this other crap in your way. If you're the only undefeated team remaining, there shouldn't be like any of these hoops that you have to jump through. Okay? It should be like, boom. We're undefeated. Alright. I could also talk about like a point system maybe. That's another whole other video. Maybe there should be like a point system. So like if you're undefeated at the end of the season and you go completely undefeated, you automatically get like an extra rank up in the rankings. Right? Maybe it's, I don't know, like, is it just me? Or, like, if you're undefeated, you should get a reward for being undefeated at the end of the season. Throughout the championship, throughout the conference championship, the whole season. Alright? There's no reward for being unbeaten. Right? No reward. None. Like, even just like an extra rank, extra point in the rankings, like from 5 to 4 no matter what. 5 to 4 no matter what. They're unbeaten. Unbeaten. No losses. Don't tell me strength of schedule, blah, 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 bull crap. No losses. Just expand the season so these unbeaten teams, these unbeaten schools can go out in a bowl game and play a really good team and get that strength of schedule. And at least just get that strength of schedule. Since all the talk is about strength of schedule, at least let these unbeaten teams get one game. Give them one game. Give them a game. Like, actually rig a game for an unbeaten team to play another high-ranked team, another top 10 team. Even if they're at like 20, I don't care. I don't care if they're unbeaten and they're at like 20 and they're UTSA or like UTSA was like on the verge of matching actually, or shoot, who was it last year? I don't know, like Carolina, Coastal Carolina. You know, come on, give them some love. Group of 5, give them some love. Give them some love in the schedule for that bowl game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That hard. Really that hard. I know we want to see a good, competitive, the best teams play the best teams, but if the best teams aren't finishing the season the best, can we at least get a little bit of credit for the teams that are finishing the season the best with their best that they have to offer? That's all I have to say. That's about it. That's just about it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Come on. It's time to finally change some things.